Could be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So
here's the option going right. And he'll push this forward only to about a nickel back added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. Play fake to Gurley. Now Keenum.
High school coach John Ford used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
Team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to give a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
They'll set up the screen to Elliott.
Game plan, but you still have to understand what they're doing in terms of what they're showing and be able to adjust accordingly, and they did exactly that. For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Play action. Now Wilson. He hits Jermaine Kearse. Past the 20. There he goes right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Jermaine Kearse, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead.
Everybody likes to see the long ball thrown, but when you throw it underneath and you see someone catch the ball, secure it, make their moves, and then turn it into bigger plays, that's a lot of fun to watch as well.
Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
To throw on second down is Keenum. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there for L.A. And even 50 yards. And I guess, Charles, sometimes when you have a receiver well over 6 foot, you do that. Just put it up there, let him grab it, and he did.
And it certainly appears like a 50-50 ball, right? We always talk about that when both sides have a chance to get it, the receiver or the guy covering him. But I think the odds actually are in favor of the offense. They can see the ball coming oftentimes before the defender can get his head around. So I think that really goes to like 70-30, and they should be able to go up and get it most of the time.
He got it there. Now on second down, this is Gurley. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed. And that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. And Zerline's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So this offensive unit, they've now had 3 drives, and they only have 3 points to show for it.
Payoff is the key for everything. How many offenses we talk to that say we have to finish drives? Thus far, this team hasn't finished it quite the way they wanted to.
They'll come up now with a clock showing 3 seconds to go here in the first. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now a play fake here on first down. Complete outright to Kearse. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here.
Holding offense.
That's a good shot. That's a good shot. Woo, defense, let's go. Let's go.
Here's Wilson to throw. He hits Baldwin right side. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Alongside my broadcast partner Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a second and long to start things out.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. And good to see Jimmy back out there moving okay after the ruptured patella in Week 12 last year. You've dealt with that injury, haven't you?
I have, and let me tell you, you know that expression, I feel your pain? I felt Jimmy's when it happened. Now, mine didn't happen quite the same way his did. His happened in the line of duty. He was playing in a game. For me, I was just coaching and went up to try and catch a pass. Poof. I think for me, it was just mainly age. For him, he was actually playing.
But good to see him back out there healthy. Wilson looking for his running back, and he's got him. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a third down.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. Marcel Reese is fullback, the intended target, and it's 4th and 4.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Here we go on 4th with Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. Call it a pickup of 7, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. A dump off to Elliott. It's a pickup of 19, and it's good enough for a Seattle first. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. Alec Ogletree in on the stop.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there and swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. This will be caught and about to stretch their lead. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And this will be a touchback, and as we saw in Week 1, the new rule, this one coming out to the 25-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder. It puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Another carry now for Gurley. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
To throw is Keenum. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Now Wilson on second down. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And they'll get him down here at the 23. It'll be a gain of 4. And just like that, it's 3rd down. And they're going to speed things up here. Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. $10 yards still left on second down. In the slot on the right is Graham. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Now it's Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Ezekiel Elliott. And that brings up 4th down.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. And now they're in the hurry-up. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
To throw is Wilson. They set up the screen to Rawls. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the off-play.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it. They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. And they're going to come up empty here on 4th down. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Second down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As we send you cross-country to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando with our halftime report, here's Larry Ridley. And hello, I guess Larry's halftime show was buttoned through, and we are moving on and ready to go for the third quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. In the slot on the right is Graham. Now Wilson on first down. A dump off to Elliott. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
On second down, Wilson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. The give is to Elliott. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And his pass incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, look credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall. Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting him to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
And how